Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now there is a phenomenon that I have found here on YouTube, and that is you'll make a piece of content. In fact, I made a piece of content, I think it's about 6 or 7 weeks ago, and there was a lot of people asking in that content, wow, what's that jacket that you're wearing, or I need to know more about that jacket. So yes, this is what we are here today to look at, and I will definitely say this has been the most requested piece of content on a jacket that I've ever had from people asking about it in other content. So I thought it was time. I've had to come out. It's about 6:30 in the morning now because it's very hot here in the UK at the moment. It's the only time that I can come out and it will be cool enough that I can wear this. And yes, what we're here today to look at is the Brandit Performance outdoor jacket. Now before we start, I just want to say a massive thank you to Military First. This was sent to me from them. They've been a supporter now of the channel for, probably about I'd say easily 4 years. We've worked together on quite a lot of things. You've probably noticed that I do a lot of Helican Tech stuff with those. They're one of the UK's largest supplier of Helican Tech gear, and they said, you know, we've got this jacket, do you want to try it out? And I was like, yeah, you know, I'd heard of Brandit. I know that you guys had recommended Brandit in the past. Brandit's a German company, and I thought, yeah, okay, let's go for it. Let's try it. So yes, a huge thank you again for the continued support from Military First. But actually just move the camera ever so slightly so that we can take a closer look at the Brandit Performance outdoor jacket. Now I think, as I tend to usually do when I talk about outdoor garments like this, it's probably good to give you a little information about me. So I'm 5'10", I have a 44-inch chest, I'm about 220 pounds. This is a size large and it fits me as a size large should do when it's zipped up. There's still plenty of room in here. I can wear another layer, I can probably wear another couple of layers underneath this. At the moment I just have a t-shirt on, but should I want to put an insulating layer underneath here, it'll be fine. Arm length is just right, certainly don't have any issues with stretching. So yes, there's just, like I say, just a little bit of information. So if you're after size information, I'd definitely say that the sizing seems to be good for me. I usually go for large. This is a large, fits me. Yeah, just right. I think before we get into the actual features of this jacket, it's good to talk about materials. If I do this, you'll hear there is a certain crinkle factor to it, and that's down to the materials that this is made from. So there are two. Well, actually, there's more than two. You've got your internal linings. Now, the internal linings on this, you have two. There is a really nice polyester, but then on the back, through the back section, just to help with some of the heat, there's like a mesh lining in there. But the two materials that this is made, I just love the fact that somebody's gone, yeah, why not? Okay, and I love the fact that it's the Germans that have gone, yeah, why not? Whatever that would be in German. Cordura has a Cordura label here. Cordura, 500 Cordura. So I'm thinking of Cordura. So this jacket will last you. You could probably pass it down to your children, and you could probably pass it down to their children. And there's two types. So when they talk about the Cordura on here, there is a 500 Cordura, which I believe is the main material that this is made from. But then there is also a 900D polyester, which will be here in the elbow pads. This is a thicker, tougher material that's there on the high abrasion areas. But yeah, Cordura, who'd have thought it? All of your zips are, they're YKK zips. You have some press studs on the front to make sure that if you're out in the rain, then of course you have that rain hood over the zip. And yeah, it's ridiculous how tough this is, and it will take some wearing in. And don't just think it's going to take a weekend walking out in the Brecons to break it in. It's going to take a lot longer than that. So features wise, looking at the jacket itself, it is a mid-length jacket, so rather than one that just stops at the waist, it goes down a little past your pockets, so that any debris, you know, you're outside at the end of the day. You want a little bit of runoff from whatever you're doing. As far as the waterproof properties of the jacket, it does have a coating on here, so the water will brush off it. This is mainly for your kind of light to medium showers. If you're in a torrential downpour, at the end of the day you really just need to get out of the rain, but it will keep you dry for a certain period. On the front, the zip on this is a full length zip. From the bottom all the way up to the neck closure, and then over the front of there you then have some press studs that will help the water from getting in, and it will also help the wind from getting in there as well. There is also a small little hood that goes over the zip when it gets up to the top as well, just to keep your beard nice and safe. But it's also a double zip, so if you did need to get into a pocket or I don't know, take a waistband off or anything like that, then it will zip in both directions to give you that extra ability to get round. On the front, it's very similar to other outdoor smock style jackets, and you have the 6 pockets that are on here. So lifting these two up here, you have your farmer style pockets. You can get in directly from the top. Ooh, I've got some money in this one. That's nice. You can get in directly from the top, easy to get whatever it is that you need to get, and yes, that's good. There is hook and loop on both of these so that you've got a good firm closure, but it makes a bit of a noise, but at the end of the day it is hook and loop. Behind there you then have some zip shooter style pockets for your hands to come forward. Personally, I do prefer the farmer style pockets. I just, you know, they're just easier to get into, but it's great that you have the shooter pockets behind so that you can just keep items in there separately. The zips on those also have these really nice, again, large rain hoods, and again, you know, just to stop bits of rubber getting in there. You then go up onto the chest. Here on the my left hand side there is a zip pocket which gives you access nice and lined into there, and there is also a small hood, the rain hood, that goes across the top. And then here on the right hand side there is another lateral pocket to get in there. I said 6, but I guess yeah, there are more than 6, but I suppose in your usually it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because you get the double ones there. But anyway, so you have your side in pocket, but then you also have a lift up pocket for putting items in. Now, you will probably have noticed it definitely has this kind of tactical outdoors look to it. It's rare that you find jackets that have PALS webbing on the front here, but for modularity, if you have a certain pouch that you want to carry that maybe you don't want to carry on your belts, and I'm thinking things like binoculars or a tool pouch, something like that, then instead you can fix it to the front here, and it is your similar, well, it's just your PALS webbing, so you can attach things to there. There are some additional pockets on the inside. On your right hand side, which you would reach in with your left hand pocket, this this is a clear panel, whereas on the left hand side, where you'd reach in with your right hand, there is a lateral one here so that you can put keys, your mobile phone. Maybe if you are out and about and you're doing some hunting, or you're out in the wild, you want to put a compass or something like that in there, then yes, you get instant access to that. Down the arms, on the right hand side here, there is a hook and loop panel that you can put morale, insignia, anything like that. On the left hand side you then have another top down pocket that you can put additional things into. Back to the right arm, going down to the forearm section, you have a nice little forearm pocket, again great for storing quick access things, whereas on the left hand side it's a nice clear panel. Down to the cuffs, I'd say that these are reasonably large cuffs. However, for me, I find that they're just right. They don't raise up too much. I've not found that I want to make these any smaller. I prefer to have as much movement or freedom in the wrists and hands as possible. But if you did want to cinch this down a little bit more, maybe it is cold, it is raining, you're wearing gloves and you want to stop anything from getting up there, you have you have a tab on each wrist cuff that you can strap down to stop anything from getting in. Last little bit on the arms, which I've had open this entire time due to the heat because it is starting to get warm, so you have ventilation on here. Rather than going all the way up into the armpit, it just stops just before the armpit. It's exactly the same on both sides, but then I don't know, actually it's a little bit easier to be able to grab because you're not trying to work out where it is. But yes, just behind your bicep you've got the zip, or at least let's pull that back up again. Just behind your bicep you've got the zip, you pull it down and there's this really nice strong mesh on the inside to stop, again, any dirt, I don't know why I've done that up, it is starting to get warm, to stop any dirt or debris from getting in. Now I do want to show you, so on the back of the sleeve, so I have mentioned you do have this this area for, you know, the extra mentioned. So this is the 500D, and then on here this is the 900D. But there is, in the back of here, there is a pocket that, if should you need to or should you want to, you can put in, what would you put in there? What's the word? Come on, Randy, what is the word? You'd put in something there that would protect your elbows, just in case, again, you know, if you are out and about, you're doing a bit of bushwhacking, or you're lying on the floor, you're prone because you're watching birds in the trees maybe. Across the back, moving up to the collar, which is probably where I should have started, you have a nice high collar. The hood on this, at the back, you have some adjustment on the hood so it can fit you just right should you need to. There is a firm brim on the front of the hood which you can make sure is out to keep the sun from your eyes. It is a nice and lined, it uses the same polyester. So here is that front panel, here is the opposite front panel, and then on the inside this is where that really nice mesh comes in. But rather than using the mesh in the top, you have this really nice lined polyester. And then you also have around your cheek where you can cinch that in to stop the wind from getting in. If you didn't want to have the hood on here, of course you can take this off, either stow it in the jacket or put it in a bag so that when it's on, personally, while I've had it, I have had the hood off. Not having hair and not having to worry too much about that sort of thing. Yeah, I just generally keep the hood off. I think for me it gives it more of a nicer, cleaner kind of look. It actually reminds me of the old wax jackets that my granddad would wear at the farm, especially, again, I think maybe it's possibly the nostalgic thing of the farmer style pockets. Probably is. The last little bit to mention, so on the inside, should you need to, you have some extra adjustment. So there is a waist adjustment which can be adjusted on both sides, and then the skirt around the bottom, there is also additional skirt adjustment. So if you want to tuck it in behind your bum, there's plenty of room for me at my height. I mentioned this is a large, I'm 5'10". There's plenty of room for that skirt to come across the bottom of my buttocks. Pull that in, and again it'll just give me an extra little bit of support, stop it from riding up, but also stop dust, debris, snow. Maybe you probably stop the snow. It's not a full-on snow skirt that you would have on the inside of a jacket, but it would certainly help to stop that sort of stuff. Lastly, just to help with mobility, mainly because of how tough the material is on this, there is some pleating on the back section here, so when it's on, it certainly feels nice. It's just tough as, it really is tough as. But when it's on, there's that pleating there, helps with movement through the shoulder. But it's crazy. Oh, forgot to mention, so this comes, I think it comes in four different colours. This is the olive version. I believe there's black, there is a US woodland, and I think there's a multicam black version of it too. But for my first outing with something from Brandit, I'm certainly very impressed. I'm glad that it's nations like the Germans that just think, yeah, why not stick something like that together, and it works really well. It's incredibly nice and high quality. I've checked the stitching throughout. There are no frays, there are no loose ends. Everything is immaculate. Even just looking down how it is stitched, it is all stitched perfectly. All of the high wear areas, especially where you have things like your hook and loop on there for pull tabs, it's all box stitched, which is the same box stitching that I would get from a rucksack. It is like wearing a rucksack as a jacket. So yes, now I hope this has helped. It's been crazy how many people have asked about this jacket, and I thought I really need to just pull my finger out, come out early in the day when it isn't as warm, and yeah, make some content. Now I want to say a huge thank you again to Military First. Yeah, love you guys, and I'm looking forward to future projects. Thank you again for your support of the channel. I will leave all of their links below. I'll leave some of their social media links too. I'll leave some of my social media links as well. You can find me here on Moorlander EDC, and also my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical. But as always, for now, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Here today to look at is the Brandit Performance Outdoor Jacket. Now before I start, just want to say thank you to Military First. No, bloody car went past. Filming closer to the road today because there's better tree cover here and it's not as hot. Now I think as I tend to do when I start stuff like this, talking about clothes or garments, needs more wearing in, and that is because this is crafted from Cordura. No, let's do that bit again. Now at this point I usually talk about materials. Now before we get features wise, okay, zip on the front is a full length zip. I think this must be, I mean it must be a European thing, because for here in the UK the zip it's on the wrong side. Is it on the wrong side? I don't know. It feels like it's on the wrong side. No, the zip on my flies that way. Actually, yeah, okay. I have to do that bit again. It does feel like it's on the wrong side. It's starting to get warm already. It's a great jacket. It does have that tactical look to it. But you could, I reckon this would stop, ease. I mean, I'd be daft if I said a 50 BMG would stop this. It's not like, you know, that tough. But I reckon if you got shot on the arm with a Lapua, maybe, yeah, it would just bounce off. Sweet. I hope you're all good. Hope you're all having a nice weekend. Stay safe.